Torah, Parshas Vayakhel, page 172 at the bottom. The pasuk says, "Shh." Vayakhel Moshe is called as Bnei Yisrael Vayim and Moshe, and he gathered all the Jews together, and he said, "Sheish Yom Tiyasim Melacha. 6 days' work should be done. Via Mashvi Yalachem Kedesh Shabbat and Hashem." So he says, "Lohavim Maimed Azal." To understand what the Gemara says in this Shusterman is Parshas Melachas Shabbos Melachas Mishkan. What's the connection? The Rashi quotes, what's the connection that says Vayakhel Moshe, and then he told him right away, keep the laws of Shabbos. To teach us that the laws of Shabbos you don't desecrate Shabbos to build the Mishkan. Even though there's a mitzvah to build the Mishkan, you still have to keep Shabbos. And we need to understand another thing we need to understand, when Hashem commanded Moshe Rabbeinu in the Parsha Trumat Tetzaveh, it says first the Klei HaMishkan, which is the art of the Shulchan Menorah, and then it speaks about the actual Mishkan, which are the Yeriyas HaMishkan, the curtains of the Mishkan. In other words, in Parshas Trumat Tetzaveh, first it talks about the kelim of the base of the Mishkan, then it talks about the Mishkan itself. And here are 3 verses. And then it says in Parshas Kisisa, it says, Ach Shebseisei Tishmeru. No, I'm sorry. The question is like this. When Moshe Rabbeinu told us, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, Trumat Tetzaveh first dealt with the Mishkan. Then afterwards in Parshas Kisisa, he speaks about Shabbos. That means first Mishkan, then Shabbos. Here in Vayakhel Pekudah it says first Shabbos and then Mishkan. And then Shmir Shabbos. Yet, in Tziva, Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shom to the Yidden, he reversed the order. Moshe Hepach HaSeder, first he told him Shabbos, then the Melachas HaMishkan, then the Kelim. Okay, the order is mamish reversed. When Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, first he said the Kelim, the Mishkan, Shabbos. Now in Vayakhel Pekudah, Shabbos, Mishkan, and then the Kelim. Make for me the Mishkan, and I'll dwell in its midst. Cover b'seichel. It doesn't say b'seichai. El b'seicham, meaning b'seich lolis neshamas Yisrael. Within every single yid, yishkin kved Hashem yisbarich adei hamishkan. Through the Mishkan, Hashem not only dresses himself, dwells in the Mishkan, but he dwells actually b'seicham within every single Jew. Through the Mishkan, Hashem dwells in every single. That's what it says. Shachanti b'seicham. But now that we don't have a Mishkan, how do we create a Mishkan for Hashem? Adei asokim b'Torah mitzvahs. Shateri can make klei Mishkan Torah, like the vessels in the Mishkan. The mitzvahs which are makif, those are Yeriyas Mishkan, right? Torah is pnimi, and mitzvahs are makif, garments. So you have today. How do we build a Mishkan? When you learn Torah, that's the Aron, the Menorah, the Mizbeach, that's the Pnimius, the inside of the Mishkan. And Mitzvah said the Yeriyas, the curtains of the Mishkan. Like it says, you should go before him your righteousness. Kved Hashem Yosef, the glory of Hashem will gather you. V'zel kamei Yeriyas, which are the level of Makifim. Torah is the level of Moshe, like the Rabbi says in Tanya. Torah is the food for the Neshama Gan Eden. Torah is b'seich me'oi. David HaMelech says, your Torah is in my stomach. You tell him, he says, what does it mean? It means it's digested internally. And that's the Klei HaMishkan, which is the level of Pnimium. Okay, so he says, bottom line, the Rebbe starts explaining, there is a general Mishkan, that through the Mishkan Hashem rests amongst the Jewish people. And then there's the personal Mishkan we make, the Kelim of the Mishkan, which are the learning Torah, and mitzvahs are the walls of the Mishkan, the Yiddish in the Mishkan, everything else. The Hovens that to understand all of this, we need to understand Masher Kol Savani Havai L'Shenisi. The pasuk says, Hashem says, I am your Hashem L'Shenisi. I haven't changed. Before world, after world, there is no whatever. I didn't change at all. Shame by his Baruch Shum Shin of his Spidus Chas v'Sholom. There's no change or any being affected. Aydei B'riyas Ha'olam, through creation, meaning, Shekamei Shayachad Miyuchad Kedem B'riyas Ha'olam, just like before the world existed. The only thing existed is Hashem, Kacho Achad Achad B'riyas Ha'olam. Like we say, Ato Kedem Shenivra Ha'olam, Ato Mishenivra Ha'olam. Right? We say in davening, you were there before the world, you were there after the world. So without Chassidus, it means, yeah, you're there, and then. So he says, no. Shem B'riyas Ha'olam is Pa'il Shum Shini Chas V'Sholem. It means like this. Not that you were there before the world, you're there now, now that there is a world. The same way you existed before the world was created, that's the way you exist now that there is a world. Because this chayis that comes from Hashem to make the world exist, is only a slight revelation, a slight array of Elokus, it's only a slight ray that has nothing to do with the essence. So what gives existence to the world? The slight ray of Hashem. Is infinitely greater than world. Is infinitely greater than world. And that's why he's called a Kodesh Baruch Hu, Kodesh Shemuvdal. Kodesh Baruch Hu means he's Kodesh, he's removed from the world.
Billions and billions and billions of stars
is one word.
And had no effect.
No.
To keep it mesudah.
The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya Perek Chav, one word, yes, that a person speaks, compared to the power of speech that a person has, the power of speech we have is infinite. Realistically speaking, we live 120 years. 120 years, that's X amount of seconds, right? It takes a second, let's say, to say a word. So realistically, we can only speak limited amount of words. Yeah? But the Koyach HaDibur is infinite. So one word, compared to the power of speech, is 1 to infinite. Now above speech is thought. Above thought are 7 midas. Above 7 midas is seichel. Above seichel is keser. So this one word, compared to the essence of Hashem, is infinitely times nothing.
But that word it says in it is part of Hashem. It's one with Hashem.
Yeah, but that word has no impact that Hashem changes. Just like when you speak, that word doesn't change your power of speech, definitely doesn't change your seichel, doesn't, you know.
What keeps it mesudah?
That one word.
And has no effect.
No. He says, Agam shenam va'ata mechayes kulam. Ata means you. Chayusim is only ha'ara ba'alma. And this order is a level of malchus, is baruch speech, right? Dibur. Shemay called malchus, chamalchus kol elamim. Shachayes kol elamim, the life of all the worlds of mechinas malchuscha. Shema shenikol is baruch melech aleim. The fact that Hashem is called the king, that itself gives him chayes. Za'atrei chayrik. V'day yishtabach shem cholad malkeinu. The Pirush is Pashtas Midas Malchusi is Baruch, which is called Shmei, who Lo'ad is also Lo'ad Malkeinu. Hainu Ed Ein Ketzer Tachlis, Kiz Midas Malchusi is also Ein Tov like Kitzahara, Kitzahara from Hashem. In other words, Malchuscha Malchus Kol Elamim, Yishtabach Shimcha Lo'ad Malkeinu, this level of Malchus is Lo'ad, eternal forever. It's only a ray, it's only speech, but it's speech of Ein Sof. So therefore the ray is Ein Sof. shall call who Amshacha Kaneda. Avalatz Moshe is Kaddish Movdo. The last machshav tvisi beklal, and therefore it says lo shanisi v'azachayis neises sakise. From the sweat of the malachim. You left your phone?
Yes.
It's in the pushka. They wanted to donated to the shul. Shatip olav aim of a fachal shalmidas malchusei, which is melech yeshav al kisiram v'nisa. Therefore, they accept upon themselves the malchus shamayim. So, in other words, the essence of Hashem is completely removed from the world, nothing to do with the world. It's only a ray of Hashem to be continued.
Wow.
Very fast.